Ready for the start of match number 2 from Don Carter Lanes. Dede Davidson, Lisa Wagner. Whoever wins this match takes on Stacy Ryder, and then the winner of the semifinal will face our top seed, Debbie McMullen.
See if Dede Davidson can calm her nerves. She looked up after the first match, held out her hand. She's shaking. Why, I'm not so sure. She's been in this position many times. 26 career television appearances.
You know, it's funny, though. Some players just never really get used to the intensity of a championship round appearance.
Well, you can tell when she gets a little nervous. She picks up her speed. Her timing gets a little off. She sends the ball a little left.
Pretty good shot there, left with the 6-pin.
She was talking to it. I think that was an error.
You know, you just never know what Dede's thinking about.
Sometimes. No, I'm not going to say it. You wonder if Dede's thinking, and I know she'll appreciate that because she's a lot of fun.
Well, the point I was making is that she reacts to every shot, good or bad, which is fun. I mean, most of the players are so professional about how they handle their emotions. It's nice to see somebody that wears it out on the sleeve. Oof, almost a bad break for Lisa Wagner to start this match. Interesting the way she has approached this pair of lanes. I watched her pretty closely in practice, and she is definitely swinging the ball and going right with it.
Well, it definitely appears that there's less oil on the outside part of the lane, Danny, and if the players hit the dry area a little too quick, it's going to hook up early on them. So what they're trying to do is move left, keep the ball in the oil a little longer, find the optimum breaking point of the ball to get it to the pocket.
Here is an impressive list of credentials.
Phenomenal career so far. 32 years old, 14 years as a professional, 27 national titles. That's almost 2 a year.
And more than any other woman professional player.
Really, as you mentioned, the comeback year so far this year. She's been in 15 tournaments and she's cashed 15 times. She's made 5 television appearances. I said, Lisa, what was the key? You know, I went to a 5-step approach with the help of Ted Thompson. I went back to my basics, the 4 steps when I ran into trouble, and sometimes that's what you need to do. Go back to your basics.
The other side of that story, too, is it's just plain good, hard work. She has really worked intensely at her game over the last couple of years because she wasn't happy with what happened.
Well, it's difficult to be on top, be the dominating player for so long, the bowler of the decade of the 80s, and then all of a sudden it was, where was Lisa Wagner?
And I think it's testimony, too, when you see what she's done, that she's overcome the changes in conditions, age a little bit to a certain degree. She's been out there a long time, traveling, working on the road, which is not an easy thing to do. Stay motivated.
Exactly.
And also the equipment. You know, things have changed a lot. Some players are not able to move from one era to the next, and that's, in essence, what she's doing right now.
And one great player of all time, Dick Weber.
Yeah,
has he been able to move from era to era? 5 decades.
Right. Professional titles in 5 decades. I mean, that's just absolutely astounding when you think about it. Down by 4. And this time the 6-pin trips out for Dede Davidson.
That should loosen her up a little bit. Let's take a look at the pin action here. The ball's going to come up a little bit high. She's going to leave a solid 6. Head pin off the wall. Says, okay, I'll come back on the deck and knock it over. Yes.
Like I said, you certainly have a pretty good feel for what she's thinking.
I think she would be wearing a mic tonight if she had a voice. She really was hoarse when I spoke to her earlier.
Uh-oh.
She tried to compensate a little bit for that high hit on lane 8 in the opening frame, but even Lisa Wagner can't hook the ball quite that much. Got away from her.
Left with a tricky 1-2-8. This isn't an easy conversion.
No, it's not. But with the mounted conditioner in the center of the lane, Denny, I don't think she'll have any problem. She'll go pretty straight and direct at the pins. Players had quite a bit of hold this week. Obvious with the high scores. You have to have something out there. A little hold, a little room to the right.
Oh, what are you talking about? They're all that good. They're all 225. No?
Denny.
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started.
I'm biting my tongue. Boy, that hurts.
Lisa trying to strike for the second time on the left lane.
Another good shot.
Beautiful.
And another strike. So for her, well, she's been high and missed the pocket to the right on 8. I have a feeling the next time on 8 she'll be right there. Whether or not she'll carry, that's the question.
Well, in practice, she did tell me that 8 for her was hooking at least 3 more boards. So we may see a highlight ball reaction from Lisa. So she can get locked in on it.
Dede Davidson trying to cool off just a little bit. Strike here will heat things up. Left the bucket the last time. She's closing in on the pocket.
Did not get quite the rotation on that ball, Denny. It appeared I heard it drop off her hand. Lofted it out a little farther, but not the rotation to get the ball back. She was right in the general area with the line. That's why it did not make it up to the pocket.
Career titles, as you've already mentioned, the WIBC Queens and the United States Open. She's now in search of a Sam's Town Invitational crown, which would give her the Triple Crown.
Dede Davidson has no titles from this number 4 position either, or the number 3. Her titles have been from that number 1 top seed position.
Well, she's the kind of player that has the kind of talent that when she gets locked into a certain type of a tournament or condition in a house, she's going to run and hide a lot of times. She's going to be first or second.
And taking a look at this last shot. Coming up light, head pin off the wall, just misses taking out the 10 pin.
Ladies have been around the pocket here in the first couple of games, but nobody really has strung the strikes together.
You might not have to tap dance at the end after all.
Well, and that, I'm thinking, would probably be a blessing. It's been a while.
You're not Gene Kelly, huh?
No.
Fred Astaire?
No. Was he tap dancer?
No, he wasn't, but that's why I said Gene Kelly first.
Right.
Just trying to see if you can dance.
Right. Oh, yeah. All of us Catholic point guards can dance. Are you kidding me? That's how you get to the foul line. Uh-oh, look at this shot. Wow. See, all I had to do was say that she was going to make the adjustment and hit the pocket on the right-hand lane, and I gave her the major jinx.
Well, I know what she's doing, Denny. When she moves right, the ball's hooking a little too early on her. So what she's done is she's moved left, and now she's trying to project it out to the dry to get it to hook back. But she is going to either need to make some type of a ball change here on lane 8, maybe something a little bit more surface, a little duller, that'll hook a little earlier for her, and she can move in.
Ooh, flirted with disaster. Not quite the way she picked up the 1-2-8 the last trip, but she's pleased that they're all gone.
And look at the spare. Not exactly textbook, but the head pin managed to take out the 8 pin at the last moment.
Lisa leads by 5, primarily because of count. Still waiting for one of these players to kind of wrestle the momentum in this one.
Well, fortunately, though, no one has opened, and that's what's keeping both of them in the match. Lane 7, Lisa likes. Other than that shot right there, she's not going to like that 8 pin too much. Takes a minute, stops, and talks to it a little. Solid 8 pin. Watch the 5 pin. It's supposed to hit the 8 pin. Goes right straight back. Tough break, and she's like, come on.
There ought to be a law against that.
Well, we saw Dede Davidson leave solid 9 pin the first game.
All right, when we come back, we'll find out. Will it be Lisa or Dede to move on here in match number 2? Made the necessary adjustments.
They did. Dede came back and said, I remembered to move. Usually helps in a match. Solid pocket shot. Then she crossed over on lane 7. Ball going out to about the 6th board, breaking back nicely. for the double.
That was in the 6th and the 7th, and then Lisa Wagner finally figured out the right-hand lane.
Great shot here. She's swinging the ball, keeping the ball a little tighter around the 9th board, makes a great break back. Again, on lane 7, we saw her leave that solid 8-pin in the 6th. Would have given her a 14-pin lead. She now leads by 4 pins.
Back to action in the 8th frame with Dede Davidson, and she takes the lead if she strikes here.
And this is not a tennis match. Pulling the ball, not sending the ball out. Dede's got the room to the left, but when she gets a little tight, she tugs it, and it doesn't appear that she has the hold to hold it on a shot like that. It's not going to be a difficult, or it's not going to be an easy spare.
Ooh, a chop there, 8 out on a double. That's a big problem for her in the 8th frame as she asks for a re-rack on lane 7.
And as I tried to get that out, I was mentioning it's not going to be an easy spare. Very difficult conversion right here as she chops the 2 and the 8 clean off the 4-pin.
No reaction at all there other than to say, I think I might have just given this match away.
Exactly. And we get to see it again from a different angle. Can't get it off any cleaner than that.
Possible 207 if she strikes out, but knowing Lisa Wagner the way we do, you don't win 27 times by letting people off the hook.
Well, also Lisa finishes up on lane 7, Denny, and she has not had any problem on that lane this game.
Another good shot, another solid 6-pin for Dede Davidson, who appears to be earmarked for a 4th place finish, although you never know. Stranger things have happened.
That's right. We've called them wrong before.
Oh. One mistake for Dede Davidson in the 8th frame, and it was on a double, so it was a critical stage in the match. Now let's see if Lisa Wagner can find the pocket again here on lane number 8. After missing the head pin on 2 consecutive shots, she threw a great shot in the 7th frame.
Well, she's making the necessary adjustments. She was not comfortable on lane 8 in practice. And it's not a good feeling to come out and try to start a match anyway.
More speed, tighter line, and a strike. Really a nice shot.
Well, she didn't change equipment, Denny, but she did move in. She's keeping the ball tighter. She's not trying to swing it out to the right.
Leading by 32 and ready to put the finishing touches here on the victory in the 2nd match.
Can shoot 239. Right now, Dede Davidson can only shoot 197.
Lisa needs a handful on this shot, and she'll move on to face Stacy Ryder.
Interesting, in 1989, Lisa, Stacy Ryder, and Dede Davidson all made the show. It was here in Rockford, but it was at the Cherry Bowl.
They've moved the tournament from those 2 sites off and on through the years. This is the 21st event here in Rockford for the ladies. Lisa adding it up and realizing that she's already moved on here, so spare it up and throw the fill ball. All right, Lisa Wagner with a win. Later this evening, the big one from Lake Zurich. Brunswick Deer Park Lanes, the Brunswick Memorial World Open. You won't want to miss that one.